Good morning. Good morning. Give me just a minute while I get everything active. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Where's the little link? Let me do this one first, maybe. And so as you get here, make sure you say good morning. Let me know that you're here. Oh, I know what it is. Give me just a second. All right, let's see. Oh, there we go. It takes a minute to get all these links working. And give me just another second to get this going here. Whoops. There we go. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I think I am live in all the places that I'm supposed to be live. And how are you this morning? It's been a busy morning for me. I was listening to something on YouTube, and I got so engrossed in what I was listening to that I lost total track of time. And so it was like I was hurrying to do a few little things. And those that know me, I don't like to rush about anything. And so I'll make sure that I have a timer set for next time, right? And so I will be live again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern with the day's affirmation and journal prompt. So just to let you know that I'll be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. And let's see, make sure what's going on. Oh, good. Good morning, Brittany. I see that you are there on Instagram, and I have to just keep moving things around to see where everybody is coming in from. But today I'm going to be giving you an affirmation and a journal prompt. But before I do, I want to ask you a question, because this is something that came up for me as I was watching the thing on YouTube, the video on YouTube. And it was, when you think about your faith, or whether you are a believer in God, the universe, or if you're an atheist, I don't care what you are. But when you think about your beliefs about that, I'm going to take this earpiece out of my ear. Everything's echoing. So when you think about that, what happens when someone says something that questions all of that belief? How do you feel when that happens? When someone says something that makes you it goes totally against everything that you believe, and they're very strong in what they're saying. What do you think? What comes up? And for most people, it comes up with, suddenly it's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not true. And you start trying to validate your beliefs, right? And I know I'm talking about religion, and I don't normally try to do that, but the reason is because it's the same kind of thing that happens in your mind, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, when you question the beliefs that are in there, right? And that's not even about religion. That's about who you are. And because, as a hypnotist, one of the things that I talk to people about is the fact that our our beliefs about who we are created and learned that from the time from when we're born till we're 7. And that's where we get the most of our beliefs about ourselves and about who we are and what our place is in the world. And so when you're thinking about, those beliefs, like I said, if you're um, if you're actually if somebody is questioning your beliefs about your religion, you get very adamant about, well, I believe this and this is why. And we do the same thing when it comes to our beliefs about us. And the thing that is interesting to learn, good morning, Lynn, good morning. The thing that's interesting to learn is that the beliefs that we have about us, most of them are not true. And yet we will, in our conscious and our subconscious mind, we will defend them to the death, basically, unless something happens to help us alter that belief. And so, some people believe, well, I'm always late. That's just who I am. I've always been late. I'll always be late. Um, and you know, if you didn't want to be late, you could make a choice and change it. But unless you change that belief about who you are, it won't stay changed for long. And it's the same with someone, let's say that I've always been fat. Everybody in my family's fat, that I'm just destined to be fat. That's a belief too. And that is not true because we're not born with this fat gene in us in this way. It is a behavior that we've learned and it is something we believe. And if we do something that questions that belief, so it's like if you go on this diet and you change everything and you're feeling good, you're looking like you want to look and everything, it won't last long because that is not who you believe yourself to be. And like I said, it's the same as our beliefs about religion. And that thing is we will find it and we will defend it to the death. And the beliefs about ourselves, the same thing, unless you find a way to go in and change those beliefs. And it's really powerful stuff when you think about it. And there are different things that we can do to change those beliefs, and that's one of the things that I help people with hypnosis and with some of my coaching, the NLP, the EFT. All those things help you change that perception of yourself. And just by doing these affirmations and journal prompts, you begin that journey. And so that's why I really wanted, like, it was in my mind after I watched that video this morning. And it wasn't even about that. It was something else completely, but it was like, poof, that's why, it's just ingrained in us to defend who we believe ourselves to be. And so I want you to be open to there's a different story about yourself, because this month I've been really, let me look and see what we got going on here. I keep having to go back and forth. This is getting to be really entertaining, but we are constantly learning and growing and becoming, right? And so we want to be doing our affirmations and our journal prompts because that is helping us to kind of get some of that information out onto the page so that we can make decisions about who do we want to be and what do we want to believe. And it's an amazing thing when you can actually question those, be open to what the possibility of the answer is. And so I'm not asking you to question your faith at all, because that is, I'm not touching that one, right? I do, however, ask you to question what you believe about yourself. And when you really dive into those things, there's a book that by Vishen Liakani, I don't know, is that even how you say his name? But it's called The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. And in there, he talks about rules, which is his word for bullshit rules. And that is things that, society has told us and everything. But, it doesn't, that's not all of it. Our when we're born, we connect with our mother. We connect with the people around us, and if it's not our mother, it's the caregiver, the person that takes care of us, and their beliefs about us as we're getting older. How many times have you seen people say, "Oh, this is the kid of mine that's going to be so creative. This is the one that is so smart," and they start giving them little labels when they're really young, right? And it's like those kids will grow up to believe those labels that they're given. And some of them are given horrible labels, right? But the child grows up believing that's who they are. And it doesn't stop when we get 8, 10, 12. I mean, we still deal with it. Like one of the things I was sharing with someone when I was recording with a podcast with them the other day was that one of the things that I do is I have a picture of myself at 5 years old. And it's a big picture. My mom was one of those moms that went and took us to Olin Mills studio and got all these pictures. And so they were really big pictures of us. And it's a full length picture of me sitting cross-legged on this little table blanket, whatever it was. And I have it hung up in my bedroom. And the reason is because I talk to her a lot. I talk to my 5-year-old self just in my imagination, right? But I look right at her and I look at her in the eyes, and I'm looking at me when I was 5, and and having a discussion. This is going to happen, and I'm sorry that happened, but oh man, are you going to learn a lot? Oh man, it's going to be great. You're going to do wonderful things. And it helps me to go into the place of my life and look at it and say, oh, it was all there for a reason. And I know that probably, I don't even know that has anything to do with our affirmation in our journal prompt this morning, but it was on my heart to say. All right, so I'm going to get to the affirmation in the journal prompt. So let me copy and paste this real quick. All right, so let me do it. All right, our affirmation this morning is every choice I make opens a new path of possibilities. And the thing is, what I've talked about a lot is that we make decisions by the filter of our lives, right? And so I want you to be open to exploring a little bit of stuff that may not feel like you, and something comes up and it's like, oh, that's a possibility, but that doesn't really feel comfortable, that doesn't feel like me. Be open to exploring, right? Because every choice we make opens a new path of possibilities. And what if something that you learn about today or tomorrow, or something that you've learned about this week, actually changes the trajectory of your life? It's a possibility, right? So just be open to listening and learning and not shutting things down. Because one of the reasons I was talking about how we are so quick to fight about our religious beliefs, we're also in that same place fighting to defend who we think we are. And I want you to be open to the possibilities that you're more than that, and that you deserve more than that. And you might not be a person that struggles with this at all, but most of us struggle with it on one layer or another. Maybe we've worked through a lot of this, because I've been working through this stuff for years, and it still pops me. It's like, whew, I noticed that I'm holding back there because I don't think I'm worthy of that, or I don't think I know enough, or, good morning, Raina. Good morning. So it is, and just real quick, I'm streaming into different places, and sometimes I can't see who's here. So if I'm not acknowledging you, it's not that I'm ignoring you at all. It's that I can't see that you're there. And so just know that I'm appreciative of you being here live. And I'm so grateful for you just being here and listening. And so the thing is that we are, I would love for you to take this opportunity to just be open to all the expansion that's available, right? Because we can learn new things all the time. And it's time for us to really dive into who it's possible to be, not who we've been, but who it's possible to be, right? So now let me get to before I move to the journal prompt, remember our affirmation, put it on an index card, put it on a sticky note, put it as a screensaver on your phone, put it with a chalk marker on your mirror, write it on the wall. I don't care, but put it somewhere that you're going to see it and that you can actually, with emotion and with joy and excitement, you can say this to yourself, because we change the vibration of who we are when we laugh, when we're excited, when we're moving and we're growing and we're becoming, like I like to talk about, the symphony of who we are, the symphony of our vibration. It creates these musical notes. And it's funny because I was listening to something else this morning, and one of the things he was telling was, there's certain emotions and everything. And he was talking about what color it was and what key it actually vibrates at. And I thought, oh my gosh, it is true, because I just feel like it's a symphony, right? But to all of a sudden have this validation that yes, our vibration is a musical note. And so we're putting these musical notes together all the time and creating something amazing. So when you're saying this affirmation to yourself, say it with joy, with enthusiasm, just being open, right? Just how you come at things changes how they feel in your body. And that in tune changes all this vibration around us, right? And remember, it's like you go somewhere and you walk into a place and you can feel the energy of the space. You can feel the vibration of it, right? And so that's why when you meet someone, you all of a sudden you feel this connection. You don't know them from anybody, but you feel like you've known them for a long time. You're vibrating at the same space, right? And then you meet other people, you don't know them either, and automatically it's like, they just don't feel comfortable. It's a disconnect in the vibration. And so it's a powerful, powerful thing. And so changing your vibration by really getting into this affirmation, every choice I make opens a new path of possibilities. Ooh, doesn't that feel delicious? Can you almost hear the musical notes, the symphony that's coming around and helping you to be open more and giving you this path of possibilities? Delicious, right? So listen for the musical notes. Listen for this symphony, and it's a feeling, right? Because when you're listening to music, you start feeling a certain way. It's that symphony. It's that the vibration of those notes alter you. So do you understand that? I'm asking anybody. Because we are creating this musical symphony all the time. So just be aware of how you feel, and then you'll know when you're playing a off-tune note, right? When you're not. Yes. So breathe into knowing you're vibrating music all the time, and be aware of how it feels. And then you'll know when it's off just a touch. And then you can move it around change that note. Maybe it went a little flat and it wasn't supposed to. No worries. Just start doing more, creating different notes, right? All right, so now I'm going to, good morning, Kimmy. Good morning. All right, so now I'm going to get to the journal prompt. All right, so reflect on a choice you've made this week. And this is Friday. So we've had an entire week. Well, tomorrow's really, I don't know. Well, that's semantics, right? So just think about this week that you've had. What was a choice that you made this week that you can think of off the top of your head? And what new possibilities did it open for you? Because it's changing this music, right, within you. And when you write this down, if you're like me, there'll be more than one choice that pops in your mind. Just write everything down, just brain dump whatever comes up. And then look at each one and say, ooh, what does that help me see as a possibility? How does it feel as I'm looking at all of this? And maybe some of the choices that you made this week, when you look back at them, you can feel like, I'm not so sure that was the choice that benefited me the most. It's not that it was a wrong choice or a right choice. It's maybe that wasn't the choice that benefited me and those around me the most. But see, it's fun to look at those too, because we can't change anything that we can't see. Because, I say it a lot, we can't see our own shit, right? We can't see the things that we do most of the time because we're in the midst of it. It's like being in the eye of the storm and being able to see what's out there. You can't. There's all this stuff swirling around you. And there's so many times in our life that we're so hung up on what's going wrong in our lives that we can't see the possibility of what could go right, that could go well, that could be amazing for you and for those around you, right? And so I'm just asking you, as you're looking at the affirmation, remember, it's every choice I make opens a new path of possibilities. Knowing that, then reflect on a choice you made this week. Because you've made some this week. And most of them are probably really small. It doesn't really matter. It's just write down the different choices of things that you've done or you've made, and then just reflect on them. And like I said, it's not saying that anything was right or anything was wrong. It's saying, did it benefit me? Was it for the greater good of me and those around me? And just reflect on it a little bit. Spend some time, just like I like to say, before you start working on the journal prompt, you sit in silence for just a few minutes and just ground into the space where you are and breathe. Relax. And then once you've done that, you've quieted all the noise just enough that you can dive into these thoughts and create, right? And then notice, what are some possibilities that are coming up right now, right? And if you don't see any, that's okay. Revisit it, because they're there. No matter what, they are there. It's just being aware and open to seeing them. Like, I talk about the Prius thing all the time, right? Those that have heard it, I bought my Prius, and once I did, they were everywhere. Well, they were everywhere the entire time. I just wasn't focused on them, because before I bought the Prius, I had a Jeep. What did I see all the time? Jeeps everywhere. And so if you're looking for new possibilities, you'll find them. So focus on new possibilities. All right. So Is everybody ready to focus on some possibilities for, what's happened, what's about to happen? Remember, we're telling the story of our life. We're playing this symphony of music, and it's our lives. We can create a new story, a new orchestra movement, right? We get to choose. Yes, thank you, Kimmy. And so use today to reflect and choose, how do you want your rest of the weekend to go? How do you want next week to go? Like we talked about this yesterday, right? To sit and just kind of create this story of, how do you want it to go? How do you want your life to be? It is your story to create and your story to tell. All right. So let me look and see if I've got anything else. All right, let's see. Oop, almost canceled that out. All right, so it's time for me to go. I've got a busy schedule today, and I'm so grateful to be here with you guys. And yes, I hope to get into this and engage, create, take some time. Oh, yes, beautiful, beautiful. I want to hear how it goes for you, Lynn, because it is amazing when you can get the noise quieted just a little bit so that you can actually hear the instrument notes in your life, right? Because it's amazing. It's amazing. And all you have to do is, maybe you need to tune some keys a little bit. Maybe you need to relax and just let it flow. So beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so you have an exceptionally blessed musical day. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I would love, looking for a better place to live and finding a new car. Yes, yes. Spend some time reflecting this week and just see what you come up with. And remember, it's writing that story out. Write it out however you want it to be, and spend time with that. Because it's like, you don't go to the gym and work out, go home and looking to fly first class. Yes, Raina. So, like I said, it's not like you go to the gym one day and then you expect to be fit, you expect to be toned, you expect all these things, right? No. So, when we write this story of who we are, we revisit it all the time. We revisit it every day, right? If you can revisit it more than once a day, even better, right? So, you don't we want to make sure that we're open and we're expressing and we're going back over and over and over again, right? And just pay attention and listen to the musical notes of your life. Look at the story of your life and choose. Be open. You got this. You got this. All right. So, like I said, I've got to, I was just looking, oh, gotta go. And you be blessed as you always are. And I will see you tomorrow.